it's recording. That should be good. I need to screen the stream to you. Would help. That one. Go live. There you go. There should be some delightful
load up stream.
Sorry?
Watch stream. Hello, Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, that looks familiar. Right. No, not fine. Let's go faster. Let us scoot through these settings.
Wow, you loaded by XWS.
Yeah, what?
Fancy.
What do you mean?
Magical code.
Is it? I literally just made the list in in thingy and then copy and paste it. Was it fancy?
Yeah. Well, I just use the TTS export, so yeah.
Oh, I don't. Oh, well, that's just pitiful.
Quite rookie. It's like you just send the matrix, and then stuff happens.
There we go. See if I can scoot through to the obstacle placements, and then we can go from there. I don't want to speed up too much. You normally whiz through about 8, don't you?
Yeah. It makes it a little awkward to if you miss something by mistake, but it's usually
well, that's fine.
good.
I mean, the whole point is we don't go into too much of the detail, isn't it? So cool. Make sure, yeah, that's all recording.
Where am I going to get 2 tri-fighters from?
Curtin, make sure you use the affiliate link.
They don't have them.
Element,
don't have them.
Whichever one you normally order from.
Don't have them.
Oh, bloody hell, Sam. We're up shit creek then.
Yeah, I know, right?
Have you literally just put it in Google and searched?
Yeah.
Right. eBay?
No one's got tri-fighters. eBay, yep, from Canada.
Hey, man, if it's cheap.
£15.88, £13 postage.
Okay, that's quite expensive. eBay's what?
I mean, the last one.
I mean, I got my Heralds of Hope Rebel stuff from America because it ended on eBay because it ended up being cheap, but... Right, anyway, shall we?
Yeah, let's go. I'll stop looking for tri-fighters for a second. Even FFG are out of stock of tri-fighters.
Well, you can't.
Asmodee, I mean.
You can't run 5 of them. So run 3 in a fire spray.
Unfortunately, I can't get a less than 80-point fire spray that's worth it.
Fair enough. Right. This is... Whoop.
Haha, interrupted. Got you.
That's so going on the end. This is episode 16 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, bringing you the finest takes on this fine game of X-Wing.
Yes, and this week, after some rather rebuking comments from Sam over the last couple of weeks, I've played a game and recorded it. So...
Yeah, but have you really played a game? Like, if anyone's looking at the YouTube video, is this really a list that our Republican Resistance player should be playing?
And Rebels, don't forget, I play Rebels as well.
And Rebels, yeah.
And on that,
you know, I'm just saying, Sean, I see 2 separatist lists on this.
Okay. There is reason behind that. I'm not going to explain myself to our podcast listeners, but it pertains to a GSP event tomorrow.
Yeah.
But on that note, I was playing a Kyber Cosmic round today, in fact, earlier this afternoon, and I had brought double fire sprays because, hey, it's probably going to get nerfed next week, so play it where you can. And my fire sprays have the standard thermal debts, Dooku and Palp. Then I brought Jamming Beam because not so much of a why not these days. I can see uses for it against, especially like the Rebel token sharings. And then both ships have Treacherous and False Transponder codes. And my opponent had brought Spam Techs. The 5 I4 arena races, all with Treacherous and Predator. So hey, look, it's current OP Separatist list against previous OP Separatist list.
Yeah, I think I think with the points nerf they did, this is an okay separatist list now, and that's nice. It's not like a nice okay spam.
Nice, okay, spam text. Now there's a sentence I didn't think I'd hear.
Realistically, I think it's an okay list.
Yeah.
People are taking it to wins, and they're doing very well with it. But it's not like you don't see spam text.
Sorry, cutting out a
Now
bit
you
there,
see
Sam.
fire spray and think, oh, you think fire sprays are
So, for people who aren't watching, obstacle placement. Basically, we brought gas clouds, all of us. They are in the four corners. One is in the centre on my opponent's side, as far down as you can get it. So there's three along his edge, and then one in the centre of the board. My opponent has set up, as I'm looking at it in the top right, not hugely close together, about a ship and a half space between each ship, so that it goes from one corner to about the centre of the board. And I've set up Sam and Django in the opposite corner. Now, my thoughts going into this game, a sort of turn zero game plan. Obstacles I'm reasonably happy with. There's a lot of space to manoeuvre around. Obviously, the Nantex can do what it likes, and it's very manoeuvrable. But a boost will get you quite far a lot of ways with the fire sprays. In fact, I believe, Sam, you're the one that told me that you should always look to the boost first.
Yeah, I'd say always see what a boost can get you with a fire spray is my very I guess layman's advice. Like boosts are very useful and they can get you out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you, and I think it comes up actually a couple of times in this game. As for target priority, I don't really have one. All the ships are identical. My expectation was that my opponent will form them up into a reasonable block. So my plan was to basically just try and skirt round, send the fire sprays in different directions, try and edge in and just start plinking some shots at range 3 and see if I can put some damage through. Because I'm pretty confident I don't win this joust.
Yeah, no, I think Spamtex has proven itself that it's got a very good joust if set up correctly. So
be interesting to see what wins a joust out of Spamtex and McJousty, actually.
That will depend entirely
on the dice.
On which turn. Like on if I feel like that'll depend entirely on the turn they're getting, where the turrets are facing. Does the Nantex take tractors to line up bullseyes, or will the bullseyes line up naturally? Because I think if the Nantex can line up their bullseyes without having to get tractors, an advantage there, because they're just rolling more greens.
Sam, just
they
try
can actually take a hit.
Speaking up a little.
Okay, because the Nantex can actually take a hit, and if they have all their green, they're less likely to be taking damage with their focus tokens. Yeah. And they're usually shooting first. I'm pretty sure. In fact, they are shooting first against McJousty,
against McJousty, you're I3 and below.
So potentially initiative killing an X-Wing is pretty nice. I mean, unlikely, but if you can do it.
Certainly doable. But back onto today's match. So we will skip through this quite fast, as per normal. And my opponent does pretty much do what I think he's going to do. He sends the one side of the board edge quite fast, barrel rolls, and sort of not completely blocks in, but moves so that he's covering a corner, basically. And I send Django fast up the corner with a full straight and a boost to give me options, and did a hard turn with Zam to kind of send them they're still together and they can turn back together if they need to, but they have options to completely spread up the board. First couple of turns we'll whip through really quickly on this one. Cards become irrelevant. My opponent continues to close up on one board edge. Zam decides she doesn't want to take that and turns back in. So we had an interesting one here for anyone who's watching. Django took an art check and had no targets in range. The Arena Ace had a range 3 shot.
Yeah, that is a finicky bit about medium bases.
Yeah.
because they are not squares.
Yeah,
You
we
can.
talked about it, and it's like it was a TTS call. I think if you put a range ruler down, you would have said that it was in. But
Well, maybe it depends.
I mean, I wasn't. Sorry, carry on.
I say because because I guess it depends how you measured it. Yeah, if you stick your range ruler down, then yes, you'll find we're at range 3 of each other. We must be able to shoot.
Yeah,
But if you measure properly, in theory, you shouldn't have range.
but yeah, that's fine. It was a 2-on-3, and I'm pretty sure nothing went through.
Yeah, I mean, you've
So,
got the force. Did you do an easier move? Did you trigger Django's ability?
no, because
The
he did.
legendary.
No, because he did a 4 straight, I think.
The often spoken about but very rarely seen Django trigger.
So this move coming up for YouTubers, I didn't want to turn Django in, and I was looking down his base, and actually I think I've just whipped past me looking down it, and it's so tight on the gas cloud in the middle of if I can get past it or not. I ended up doing a full straight, and it clears because it gives me so much better options afterwards. But I was like this close to going. If I click that gas cloud and he turns everything in on me, okay, I'm going to take range 3 shots, but possibly a few of them, and a strain for the first one.
Yeah, possibly a strain. Although, I maybe wouldn't have been super worried because I don't think he'd be taking many bullseyes.
No, and that's something I took into consideration. Yes, I might take a few shots, but they'd be 2 die shots because
I mean,
he'd have to
I guess
rotate.
not to mock the 2 dice turret shot because a couple of plink damage at this for free
for sure,
can be devastating.
But it's better that
yeah.
than taking the shots. So yeah, away we go, and my opponent does turn in, but not like tight in close. He still keeps his ships close together. Zam does that. Yeah, there you go. You can see how close it was. But all's good. And then I think Jagger takes a boost round. Oh no, took a focus. Decided I didn't want to get closer to blue with no shots. So the only shot I take is this range 3. Which is fun. Nothing goes through. And now comes the bit where if this had been me playing 12 months ago, I'd 2 hard Django to the right, and I would have 3 taloned Zam to the right.
Okay.
You know how aggressive I can be and used to be. It's all about getting shots and shooting and that.
I mean, I feel like aggressive Sean thinking cleverly would just do a 1 hard with Zam because that basically gets the exact same result.
Well, this is the thing, because of the 3 factions I play, or at least certainly until recently, it's been the Republic. And the Republic doesn't have, say, a 3 dice bow tie where you can leave it front or back, or a 3 dice out the front, 3 dice out the back. So a lot of the time, you're very much thinking about getting your front arc on people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Whereas with fire sprays, who cares?
Exactly. And that's something I've been working on. So I do the 1 hard away.
Yeah.
To present my back. Have a range, take a target lock, and jam off the focus off the blue.
Nice
thing. And Django, turns away and runs away. Because
interestingly, see, I might have tried a 4 straight from Django again.
Interestingly, I considered a 3 bang cut behind the gas cloud. But I was more worried about if I go into that corner, like where yellow is now, being able to do a 1 hard and then barrel rolling, and I know what the Nantex can do. I was worried about getting trapped in a lot of bullseyes. Red could turn round.
That's fair.
So I thought that gives me more options because they can't gun at me because there's gas clouds in the way.
True. I mean, this does mean that they are all of your ships are being chased by all of their ships, which is better than all of their ships chasing one of yours.
So Zam shoots at the blue that she took a target lock on, and jammed off the focus. And rolls, I think eyeball, crit, hit. Spends the eyeball for hit, crit. And 4 dice, my opponent rolls blank, blank, focus, focus. And I'm like,
Alright, so that's an unhappy Nantex.
I'm like, jamming that focus off there was real good.
Quick tech, guys. False transponder codes is a very useful tool if you can leverage it, especially against people who don't have target locks and therefore cannot trigger it before you want to trigger it.
The crit was a fuel leak, so irrelevant as it's the 1 damage remaining. But a nice sort of an early, I've put some damage through, there's a possibility for an initiative kill, something not shooting back at me, I'm up on points, that's always a good place to be.
And also, your opponent is going to have a bit of difficulty chasing fire sprays from here.
Yeah. Now, I drop a bomb on this turn with both fire sprays. Honestly, I don't think my opponent's going anywhere near them. But I tend to, as you'll know, as you've played against me a few times with thermal debts, Sam, I don't tend to worry too much about causing damage with them. For me, it's like, try to make sure my opponent doesn't go here. And if they do, then they have to waste actions repositioning and stuff. I'd much rather a debt causes someone to move into a non-optimal position or not have a focus or an evade. Not that actually with the Nantex it matters too much, but it means that maybe they've got to take the tractor, which takes away an evade, rather than actually causing that damage.
Yeah, I will say though, I think Django dropping the bomb, I would call it a mistake because there's almost no way for the Nantexes to actually get in range of that bomb.
No. The reason Django dropped a bomb is because of where I dropped it with Zam. I thought if my opponent sees the Zam one coming, he might funnel up through that gap between the 2 gas clouds, move all his list up there, chase after Django. And my thought was, not so much that the bomb would hit, but what the bomb stops him doing is moving up, taking the tractor to boost in closer, which gives him better options for the next turn.
Yes, I do agree. Like it prevents them. I just think I'm looking at where those Nantex are. Maybe it's just because I fly them a lot. I'm looking at that thinking none of those Nantex can actually do anything that would I think even a 3-bank boost from Pink, which is going to be the only one who could get close, doesn't actually get in range of the bomb. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm looking at that. To be fair,
you've probably got a much better idea. But also,
yeah,
I quite often don't spend the bomb charges in my game, so my ships either die with them intact or they just don't get used.
That is also, I guess when you have 4, it's okay. I'm looking at this thinking like at this stage, I think Zam's bomb is correct. There can potentially people going that way, but I think Django is far away.
Yeah.
So I don't think Nantex can actually get close.
It's very rare I pump out both thermals. I tend to just speculatively throw one out. But I certainly, looking back on it now, can see your point that, it probably is a little bit far back. Maybe if they were a couple of ship banks closer.
If blue 5 straight through the cloud, I just can't see.
No.
Yeah.
But onwards. So blue goes up there, and like where he moved there, if that thermal hadn't been there, he could have barrel rolled in.
True.
But the rest of the list actually turns in the other direction. Which is fine, because it's keeping them back. It's giving my fire sprays chance to get some space. Zam turns around the bottom left gas cloud and boosts around. And Django does 5k. Because... Sorry? Yeah, 4k, sorry. Because I didn't think I'd get shot at that point, especially with bomb where I'd put it. No one's going to boost in there. And then it gives me options the next turn. Of do I want to come down the board edge? Do I want to go straight? Rather than if I just continued round that corner, that limits me to one direction.
Yeah.
So no shooting.
Bombs miss everyone.
Yeah, bombs miss everyone.
lots of tokens to go into the trash pile.
Right, now the
Nantex.
the next turn is probably one of the biggest mistakes I make in the game.
So I feel like Django. So I don't know who the mistakes
Right.
are, but I feel like Django should one bank,
Okay.
and Zam should probably one hard.
Okay. So I ummed and ahed about the one hard. I ummed and ahed about the two hard. And I also now ummed and ahed about a three bank. Because a three bank would take her down to the board edge, put a lot of distance, put her in sort of the middle of the board at the board edge, and then she could boost away. The way I looked at it, I didn't think green and pink could turn in on me. I thought the gas cloud prevents that. So I thought it'd just be red and yellow coming at me. So I two-harded because I still felt that option gave me boost options. So red does come in. Takes tractor, rotates. I did notice that my opponent likes to have his turret where he's shooting to cover if they're not in the bullseye.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So was more than happy to take a tractor to get that turret there. And it turns out that, in fact, he can get the ships round. Green just went through the gas cloud, but lines it up. So I've done the two hard. And I kind of think you're right. I think the one hard might have been a better call. It would have been slightly tighter. But I think I might have been able to boost around the gas cloud and maybe escape from Yellow's arc.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't thinking so much about the boosting. I was thinking, like, we'll take a one hard and focus. Because at that, like, I think I looked to me like a two hard. I don't know if yellow can actually shoot, but like a one hard, I was thinking, okay,
Keeps you back a bit further.
Keeps you back a bit further. Take a focus, and then you have options for next turn.
Yeah.
Because then you can three bank back up to Django. You can four straight, maybe it's a little bit risky because of where the Nantex are, but
yeah,
and you can two hard away down to the bottom of the board even.
Yeah, I still think this turn the three bank was probably the better call.
Maybe.
In hindsight,
I'm not sure if you're shooting back though.
No, I wouldn't be. But I think a three bank boost.
I think you're still taking two shots.
I think a three bank boost would have got me out of Green's range and possibly Red's arc.
Yeah,
it'd be close, but
it's hard to tell on TTS.
But I think out of the three choices I considered, I think the two hard actually, in hindsight, was the worst of them. It's not a crippling mistake by any stretch. Django did not do a one bank. Django did a three straight. Because because red and yellow were very much facing towards Zam and couldn't really turn in on Django, I didn't think that my opponent would turn any of his ships in. Because you're not going to just chuck two Nantex at a fire spray. So I wanted Django to go fast and be able to boost round, which he did. Just misses range on anyone, but is quite nicely set up for the next turn. Right, so turns out that I am in range of three of these spam decks. I shoot at green because green has no... I think green...
Yeah, so you didn't Dooku because you used the Force to change it to a hit. You rolled two of aids.
Dooku is not on Zam. Dooku is on
Dooku's
Django.
Not on Zam, Dooku's on Django.
Dooku is on Django. So we'll just... so yellow shoots me first, which was quite interesting. Yes. So I treacherous away the only result and give red a strain who's in front of him. I reveal my card. It is the bonus attack card. You better mean business. But choose not to bonus attack.
Yeah, because you want to take the bonus attack against the strained and tracted guy.
Yes, very much so.
Who has one
green. Or he chooses not to shoot me with that guy, which, to be honest, I'm equally happy with that result. So green shoot.
I honestly, in hindsight, I think both people were right with that result. Like, because actually, no, this is a bullseye shot. This maybe is worth it.
But green,
you fire. I think red fires last.
Yeah, green shoots, and Sam natties out, and then red shoots, and plinks one shield off. And I bonus attack back, natty out a hit crit into a 1 agility Nantex who rolls a blank. And once again, it's hit fuel leak. So now,
This is the way.
yeah, now 2 of them are 1 away from health, and I'm like, okay, this is going well. So this turn, I basically I think send Django in fast again. I think I do another 4 straight.
Yeah,
Because
I think either 3. I think either 3 straight or 4 straight. I can't work out if a 3 straight would clear that gas cloud. 3, because if you do a blue, you can potentially get Django's ability online because the Nantex are very unlikely to do reds.
yeah, and this is the turn. I'll pause it here so that I can describe it before we do it for people watching on YouTube. It's these 2 turns. This turn just gone, which I think I lucked out a little bit on only taking 1 shield. And this turn, I thought my opponent would go, like, would think I'd turn away from him, as I've already shown that I'm happy to do that. Turn up left round that gas cloud, maybe a 3 bank, and then boost away. And I did consider it. And then, so I thought he'd turn red and yellow in to try and block that. So what I ended up doing was a 4 straight. Because I know the Nantex can't go slow. So I was hoping that wherever red and yellow go, I'd jump over them.
Yeah, but the only reason I'm saying ooh is because I'm looking at pink and thinking pink can, if I like, from my perspective, like I would thought like pink would go to block the 4 straight, and then you set up red and yellow to either try and block slow moves or point turrets in the direction.
And I didn't think about pink. I thought pink was too far back, and that was the mistake because you've called it perfectly. So green actually does a K-turn.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Hello.
Red comes
Nantex doing a red maneuver.
Yellow comes in.
This?
Pink comes in. Blocks the 4 straight. So I bump into red, but I'm taking a range, I think.
That looks like range 2 bullseye, range 2 turret, range 1 bullseye?
Yes. Luckily, the range 1 is unmodded.
Predator, though.
Yeah, Predator. And Django comes in and takes a lock onto blue and jams his poor focus away again. Django rolls a crit, locks into hit crit, and blue unfortunately rolls 2 of 8, which was 1 shy of what he needed. So that's him down. I range 2 into yellow.
Ooh, so yellow is range 2.
Yeah, yellow is range 2. And I roll 1 hit. By God, am I not spending the force at that point?
Yeah.
Right, now watch this, Sam. This is where the dice, I won't say saved me, but by God, did they help. So range 1 bullseye. He rolls hit crit after Predator.
Evade, I see them.
Natty evades, so 1 shield.
Alright, what's the Zam trigger? Is it gain energy and acquire a lock?
Gain energy and acquire a lock. So he rolls again and did hit crit, and I rolled
just hit crit.
Oh, sorry, hit crit.
It's the turret from yellow, and you rolled an evade.
I rolled an evade, so 1 shield. Get another charge back. So I checked for range here. I was in range 2. Django was in range 2 of his last ship, so I Dooku'd a blank. Nice. I know he's got Predator, so I know he can re-roll it. But I thought the odds are it's better odds that he rolls it into something else. He could roll blank into blank. It's not costing me anything. I'm not getting shots.
Yeah, I mean, you're not using Dooku's force any other way.
No, exactly.
Right? So you may as well use it.
Well, that's what I thought.
Even if he does nothing.
And he rolls a blank, which he predators into a hit for 3 hits. I roll evade focus, and I rolled evade focus, spent the force. So on that turn, where I took 2 range 2s, 1 turret, 1 bullseye, and a range 1 bullseye, I lost 3 shields, gained 3 charges, and a lock. I mean, I'd argue that was a much. I think that Zam. I mean, we talked about it near the end of the game, and I think Zam should have taken at least 3 more damage on that. I think it should have been a halved Zam minimum.
Yeah, I think it should have been a half Zam. I'm not sure much more because in the end you still had for at least one of those shots, right?
Yes, yeah. So I have the force. So Still had the mod, but
I think maybe 2 more damage would be fair, because remember, like, the turret attack 2 dice,
But it's also the fact
yeah,
that there are quite a few crits in there that all got
yes,
knocked
that's
out.
true.
All got knocked out onto a shield. If one of them had plinked through and it had been blinded pilot, damaged sensor array,
Anything. Like, a lot of crits hurt fire sprays.
Yeah. But it didn't. So there's Zam. Okay, she's got no shield, but she's actually reasonably happy. So this turn, I dropped some bombs again.
Yep, that makes sense.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Nantex are going to turn away, but it just area denials them behind me. It stops Red doing a 5k behind me. It seemed sensible.
So I would say that this turn, like, from what looking at, I think this is the defining turn. Right now, the game is quite just above half. One and
Sam,
3/4 of an ant.
Speak up again a little bit. You're just cutting out. So,
like, I'd say this turn is the defining turn. Like, Zam's just above halved. You've killed 1 3/4 of an Nantex.
But it's but it's only 1 Nantex actually dead. Still 4 on the board, and that can do a lot of damage. I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think
so that's what I meant. Like, this is like either you kill another Nantex and a half, but I think if you don't, I reckon I could see Zam dying this turn.
Yeah, because shields are gone, crits are going through. So I'm trying to remember. I know what Django does, but I'll wait until we get there. I think I know what Zam does actually as well. So cards come out and I drop both bombs, just in case. Because the Nantex got no, they don't have a 3 sleep, do they?
They have a 3 sleep.
Yes,
they have a 3 sleep and a 5k.
Yeah, just in case. I thought Red may have 3 slooped. And as I said, I use my bombs. Red does the 3 hard, but still thinks he might be in range, so forces the barrel roll away. Pink does a sleep, but is nowhere near. So Pink does a sleep. Green went straight. Banked, focused. Yellow turned in, but didn't remove its
3 sleep.
I did a 3 sleep. Sorry, yeah. I did another 4 straight because I was pretty confident that Green couldn't block that, and I was right. And I jumped just in front of Green. So again, Zam's taking a lot of shots, but I've put down the bonus attack card because I've got 3 charges, and I know it's very likely I'm getting shot. I've got a range 1 shot, and even if I bumped into Green, because Green would have obviously had to be further up the board. I think if Green had been further enough up the board to bump, I would have had a shot onto Pink. But I was pretty confident I was getting 2 shots this round with Zam, and then hopefully a shot with Django. Obviously, Zam's damaged, almost near half. I thought there was a chance I could lose Zam, and to be honest, looking at the board state, I probably should lose Zam. But I thought if I could take another fire spray, maybe even the half one as well, and take Nantex, and take another 2 off the board. But even if I could take 1, and especially if it's one of the full health ones, if I've got 2.5 Nantex against Django, I'm reasonably confident with that.
Yeah, but as I'm looking at something, because we're here before Zam's action. Like, I think I can't tell from where, but if you're in Pink's bullseye,
which I am,
I think. If Zam's in Pink's bullseye, I think Zam should boost. I don't know what action.
I undernard, and you'll watch me do this. I thought about the boost straight. I thought about the boost to the right. Obviously, I didn't think about
it. I also don't know what Django's doing, and you do. So,
but Django's doing, I believe, a 2 hard to the right. Maybe a 1, maybe a 1 hard. But I believe, like, you'll watch me go, like, up comes the focus, the boost. But I take a focus in the end. Django does a 1 hard, and takes the focus.
And the thermals hit nothing, but they kept the Nantex away.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So Django here, I undernard about what shot to take. I've got range 2 obstructed into Green, who obviously has a focus. He's sitting range 1 bullseye behind Zam. But I've also got a range 3 into Pink, who has no mods. So in the end, I take the range 3 into Pink.
Django trigger!
Yeah.
You did a white, and he did a red.
I'm pretty sure I don't remember that.
I mean, it also doesn't matter. He can't.
Now,
you can change your focus to a blank all you like.
yeah.
Focus.
Here comes the bit of filth. We were talking about defense dice, and we were saying, oh, it's 4 dice regardless of whether it's range 3 or range 2 obstructed. And I accidentally pick up 4 attack dice because we were talking about it, and rolled 4 attack dice. Rolled hit, crit, focus, and I was like, all right. He's like, oh, what if you got 4? And oh god, I'm really, really sorry because we were talking about 4 dice. He's like, it's not a problem, just re-roll them. So we did, and I rolled them into hit, crit, crit. And I said,
that's just mean.
Oh, I felt so bad. I said to him, you'll see it in a minute. I said to him, that's not fair. I don't feel it's my mistake. I've got a better roll out of it. I was going to spend the force to turn it to hit, crit. I'm happy to change one of the crits to a hit, and I do. And then he's like, no, don't do that. We played it. That's what happened. 2 of them go through. He actually, ironically, only puts hit crit on his ship. And I wasn't going to say anything because I was just like, no, that's fine. It's not a problem. The crit was a wounded pilot. I was like, that's fine. Because if I'd had my way, it would have been hit crit anyway. So it's always those are always the feel bad.
It's just sportsmanship as well. Like
exactly.
You noticed it. Like it's fine. Like
when you cock
it's unlikely to matter.
Yeah, when you make a mistake and then get a better roll out of it, it's always the sort of okay. I do feel bad about that. Right, so Zam.
You shoot the guy you target locked, right?
Now I ummed and ahed about this because I think it's range 1. Yeah, it's range 1 on both of them. So I was like, do I shoot range 1 into the guy I've got a target lock on? But he's got a focus. Or do I range 1 into the guy with no mods? Knowing that I've got a focus, I've got the force, and I also know that I've got a bonus attack. So I'm pretty sure I actually range 1 into pink with no mods. And I spent.
I didn't see the lines. Does he have treacherous on this one?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not obstructed. It's just skirts thing. And I roll.
Hit
crit. Because I actually rolled 1 hit, 1 eye, but I Dooku'd the crit from Django. So
nice.
And he unfortunately blanks out, and that does kill pink. So yellow takes a shot, range 2, and Zam takes the damage. Red has a shot, which I evade, 1-on-1. And I did wonder here, because he's got a range 2 unobstructed onto Django, another little quirk of the arcs, mine was obstructed, his wasn't, or he's got a range 1 into Zam in the bullseye. So 2 versus 4.
I think you take the bullseye shot. You got Predator, you got a focus. Like this could, if this goes well, you could seriously kill. You could kill Zam.
I mean, he knows he's getting double tapped because the card's been revealed, and we did talk about it as we were sort of chatting as we were making up minds. And he does go for the bullseye shot, and then rolls.
I mean, okay,
rolls blank, blank, eyeball. Predators into a blank, and doesn't spend the focus. And especially after I had my roll literally on that turn, that was just Django was just rolling natties, and that was a bad moment for him, a big swing. But I do double tap. I spend the lock for 4 hits and a crit. So
3
I know
hits and a crit. Come on.
Sorry, 3 hits and a crit. So I know the crit.
Zuckus.
I know the crit's going through, and I believe the crit is a damaged engine. So
it looks like he rolls 2 evades and a focus, spends the focus, just take the crit.
So somehow in that turn, I've killed another Nantex, I've put a crit through onto green, and Zam's taken 1 damage.
I feel like you should have taken more. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I feel like you should have taken some more.
I completely agree. I think Zam, if not died, should
I don't think Zam should be dead. Zam should be like
on 2, maybe.
On 2, yeah. I think Zam should be on 2.
But now it's 2 fire sprays against 2.5 Nantex, and I'm feeling reasonably confident because they're obviously. I don't know the exact points. I'm guessing somewhere
They're at
around
40 points
40
each.
because you can fit
I
5
think
of them
they're
in.
exactly 40 points each.
So all I've really got to do is finish off one of them, and even if I lose Zam, I'm still up. At this point, I'm obviously still up. So Django's just going to turn away. Zam is obviously going to drop some bombs because 2 of the Nantex are
Why
behind.
not?
Well, yeah. I say drop some bombs. Drop a bomb, because I believe she has one left. And there goes the bomb. I do the 2 because I didn't think that anyone would come chasing after it. Green, I assume, is just going to zoom forwards. It's all about where yellow goes, and I thought the 2 gives... Because Zam blocks any really fast moves to the left, I thought the 2 would give more of sort of range coverage. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Because if yellow wants to shoot at Zam, I don't think yellow can actually avoid that. Then again, yellow can. Yellow is the only one. Is the one who I would say
could take one. Yeah.
So that's something.
So red just does a slow. Yeah, green zooms off. And
sets himself up to shoot Zam.
Now, interestingly, yellow turned away, but I believe did a 3 hard, which is stressful.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't relieve the stress from the sloop from last time.
Yeah, and I believe it's still range 1 of the bomb. And
yeah, definitely looks it.
So now green had done a 5 forward in front of the Zam and barrel rolls, and I thought that blocked the 2 hard I dialed in, and it didn't. I don't know if I zoom in, but it's damn close.
Okay, I was going to say, that looked like you'd landed in the exact perfect spot to not have a shot whilst giving your opponent a shot. Luckily, you can boost.
Yes, exactly. Because I think green's turret just clipped my back. And obviously I've moved into the bullseye of red, but I think I've got a shot on red, and red's got 1 health, sorry. So I'm hoping for the initiative kill. Django just turns away, boosts away, and yellow takes a hit from the thermals.
Because at this point, of course he does.
I know, right? So now comes the interesting choice, because I do have a range 2 shot from Zam onto red, but I also have a range 1 shot into green, who's tractored out the rear. And I take the.
I think you go for red here.
See, I took the range 1 shot because if I thought 3 with a focus versus 2 without a focus, because I believe you.
Yeah, no, that's true, but red's on 1, so all you need to do is get 1 through.
But by the same account,
I think that's worth going.
By the same account, if I got 1 through on green, that's half points.
That is true.
If I got 1 through on green for half, I'm pretty sure that Zam can die, and that leaves me ahead. Because although Django isn't 100, combined with the bid, Zam's less than 100. And if they're about 40 points each, 2.5, and it's not 2.5,
so you would have destroyed 140.
Yeah, exactly. I would have had 1 hole and 2 halves. So I thought that 4 on 2 was better. But for once, my dice abandoned me, and I rolled 2 blanks, 2 eyeballs. I'm not spending the force on that. And finally, my opponent's dice come to him, and he rolls hit, crit after mods. And Zam just rolls a 1 of 8. So takes hit, crit. And the crit is a fuel leak, which is relevant. I mean, how many times do we see fuel leaks that are the last?
Yeah,
penultimate
quite a lot. But you got a target lock on the boy.
I have got a target lock, and 2 charges back. So a charge from that. I have 2 charges, so I can double tap. Now this turn was interesting. I really considered a 1 hard to the right. And I thought, no, that's quite easily blockable. I also thought about a 1 bank, because I thought, I was expecting red to block. So I was looking at what are the best options to shoot green. Because green didn't really have much of a choice but to turn after me. And I was like, a 1 hard, I think would swing my arc round too hard. I thought about a 1 bank, but I think I dialed in a 2 hard in the end.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think I saw it too hard.
Because I was hoping
also, for people not watching the thing, did you palp red to give him a stress?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I was trying to work out how that Nantex got a stress.
Sorry, missed that while we were zooming through. So yeah, I 2 hard, and he I think he dialed in a 2 straight, and it lands just in front of me. And I was looking at it going, oh, I'm not sure if a 2 hard clears that, which is fine. I bump into red. I've got a range 1 out the back into green. Yellow turns in again with a 1 hard, so no stress removal. So I do bump. Red's taking the.
You're alright with that, though.
Yeah, exactly. Red's taking the evade, which I'm fine. Red's not shooting. I'm not shooting. Red, I've got a range 1 out the rear. Green is tractored. So again, it's a 4 on 2. It's got the focus this time, but it's still more dice against dice. And I've put down the "you better mean business" card. So if he does shoot me, I'm getting 2 4 dice attacks at him, which should net me half points realistically.
Yeah.
I've only got to get 1 damage through, so Django does the 1 hard to turn in, boosts to come up behind green. I Dooku the crit. I roll a crit because almost every single time I Dooku'd a crit, I rolled a crit. And actually, if playing the last few games have taught me anything, it's probably don't Dooku. Just keep the force to change an eyeball. You'll do it more often than you'll not roll a crit.
Or unless you have a focus token.
Unless you have,
Dooku away.
Yeah, good point. Unless you have a focus token. But as you always say, we tend to boost quite a lot with these fire sprays, so quite often you don't have that focus token. But I believe that yellow escapes unscathed.
Oh, I see 2 blanks.
Yeah, so
he rolled.
So I rolled 3 natural hits from Zam into the green. Sorry, no, I didn't. I rolled 2 hits on an eyeball, and I spent the force. And green blanked out, which unfortunately kills green.
Dies. Yeah. No shots from the Nantex this turn. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Now, yellow Nantex, clear your stress.
Now this is it. Now we're 1.5 Nantex against 1.5 fire sprays, and I'm pretty darn confident I've got this one in the bag. There's less than 20 minutes remaining. I think I'd really have to cack up badly.
4K Zam straight off the board. I mean, at that point, that's what your opponent needs.
So, right. So,
ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Hang on. Let me just rewind slightly for. Actually, I don't know how to rewind on this, so I will just do this and hope it. Yeah. Oh, play. So, red turns behind Zam because it's got to do a reasonably fast maneuver to get around the back. And does. And then yellow finally gets rid of the stress, takes the tractor, boosts in, and I'd done a 2 hard, and I honestly thought that was a blocking, and it clears. Oh, I've done that again, but it's fine. Yeah, the 2 hard, and it clears by the merest of millimeters. And I was looking back, and I was zooming in, and I was like, I don't have a shot here. I don't think I have a shot here. Obviously, the turret's pointing out the side, so that's relevant. So I do the boost.
Yeah.
And Django full straight. And takes the focus. So Django just sneaks a range 2. And I believe I've stopped Dookuing at this point. And Django carries on and just rolls 3 hits. Out of hand.
Sure.
And lo and behold, there's 2 blanks for the Nantex. And that are the 3 hits that are required to kill yellow. And that's yellow dead.
I mean, that's pretty much game, right?
At this point, my opponent concedes. And I don't blame him. Because, I mean, you look where the fire sprays are, you look where I can turn, where I can go. I mean, where the Nantex is. I just send Zam fast up the board, shoot out the back, turn Django in because he can afford to take loads of hits. And, yeah. And that was that. And, yeah, I'll fully admit, dice... I never use dice as an excuse.
I don't think dice are a reason you won. I think one's quite so hard.
But I think they helped. No, I genuinely still think I would have won. I think it was a little more one-sided than it should have been. I don't think my opponent flew badly at all, with the possible exception of not relieving the stress on yellow.
Yeah, because that really does shut off what the Nantex.
But I mean, my opponent was one of the XTC players for Team Singapore, who came third. So they've got.
Maybe we just we don't judge.
They've got to be quite good.
Or maybe he's coming off the very stressful XTC.
Well, that is true.
That's chill out with some Nantex, then you go and throw fire sprays at him.
I mean, ironically, thanks. Ironically, this game was last week's Kyber that we had to delay. We delayed actually so he could practice for XTC. And he played his current opponent about 3 hours after me, and I did check, and he won that one. So at least it wasn't 2 defeats in the day. So a slight bonus. But yeah, I think looking back on the game, the mistakes sort of all clustered around those couple of turns where almost his entire list was pointing at Zam, and Zam escaped with 4 damage overall from 2 rounds of 3 or 4 ships shooting at her.
Yeah.
And I'd argue that was pretty much caused by my dial choices.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I think the 2 hard for the first turn, as you said, a 1 hard would have been better, because I don't think one of the ships would have got a shot, and the 2 that were range 2 would have been range 3. And then, yeah, trying to jump over them, I think, was a mistake, because I didn't consider the furthest back ship blocking it. I think either a bank or a hard away would have been a better call.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's hindsight. But, I mean, there's a reason why they say double fire sprays are OP. And I've played against them, I've played them, and,
they strong.
Yeah. I think you're a main separatist player, and I think even you'll agree with me that they need a nerf.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the nerf has to be. I think maybe just losing the crew slot and become fine.
Yeah, I think that's it, honestly. I think it's like Bobber. It's the force that really... I mean, Django without Dooku and, Zam without just a force point. They're still good, but they're not obnoxiously good. So, we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed, Thursday we'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was...
I mean, yeah, that's it, right? I'm not sure what else we can say.
No, that's pretty much summed it up. Good. Good last-minute practice for Tatooine tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow.
Well, I'll just say, if I make the cut, my wife will kill me. If there's no podcast...
It's all right. If blame Tin Squadron.
If there's no podcast next week, I made the cut and my wife has killed me.
Good point.
Although, to be fair, if I make the cut and my wife killed me, this episode probably won't get uploaded.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, all right, guys, thank you for joining us again, listening or watching. Your continued contribution to the podcast by listening or watching is greatly appreciated. We only do it because you guys seem to enjoy it, so kudos. Shout outs for the Tin Squadron tournaments going on at the moment. We witter on about them every week, and you guys probably remember, but we have our in-person Kerno Cup, which has got a pretty nice looking trophy coming along for it, if I do say so myself.
I mean, you are the one who made it, so if you didn't think it looked nice, good lord.
Well, you said it was all right, and Nikki and Chris have given it their approval, so all's good. We'll be running our online tournament, Balance of the Force 2, which is due to start a week Monday, so that should be quite good. And that's pretty much it for the normal shout-outs. We'll be streaming next Tuesday, so join us on Twitch. And
we'll be trying some balance lists out.
Oh yes, we got an interesting game for you on Tuesday. And at some point, I swear, I'll get around to uploading the YouTube stuff. But on that,
all right, we're strictly professional, so people will know it's coming.
Well, on that note, we will bid you all a good week, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta from me. Yeah, so Sean, I managed to find a place to buy 2 Tri-Fighters. Done.
Have you spent the entire podcast trying to find 2 Tri-Fighters?
Only the first 30 seconds.
Oh, really? Okay, fair enough. Right, that'll make a good ending to the podcast.